You ever cook steak at home and just your whole house just beep, 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 beep? My air purifier, like it has like a little sensor light, it goes red. It's so dramatic. Welcome to Recipe Drop. I'm Cesar at the Food52 Test Kitchen, and today I'm baking batata with steak with a mojo vinaigrette. What is a batata? So basically, batatas are a type of sweet potato found mostly in like Central America, South America, the Caribbean. They come in all shapes and sizes. So you have a monster like this. You have something a little smaller like this. This one's about maybe 3 pounds. I'm just gonna cut it up. Oh, wash it. This one's pretty clean, but just make sure. All right, so I already have a pot of water boiling. I've salted it. So for the batata, how do I tackle this one? So I think I'm gonna go cut it in half. Be careful. That's what it looks like inside. I cut wedges like this, slices like this. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna stabilize this one, so there we go. Cut a little part off the bottom so it doesn't roll. Sometimes when I cook on camera, I forget like cooking 101 things. All right, so just kind of rough cubes. Remember, these are getting boiled and then roasted. I mean, these batatas are super hard. I mean, batatas in general are really hard. So be very careful when you cut these. If you cannot find a batata, you can find these usually in a Latin American supermarket or an Asian supermarket. But if you can't find them, a regular sweet potato will work great in this. So I have my water boiling. Just start gently dropping these in. And you just want to boil these until they're tender. So about 10 minutes. So as our batata is boiling, let's work on our mojo-ish marinade. So a mojo is a citrusy, garlicky marinade. You can find it throughout Latin America. You're gonna see it a lot in Cuban food, especially. Really garlicky, citrusy. The main star of a mojo, the traditional mojo, is the sour orange. So here I have some sour oranges. If you cannot find sour oranges, you can totally mix orange and lime together. That's also really delicious. The sour oranges taste great. I'm not calling this a true mojo just because I'm adding some red onion, I'm adding some sherry vinegar, a little honey. So definitely mojo as a base, but I'm playing around with it a little bit. I'm gonna start with some red onion. You can also do shallot, white onion, any allium really. I'm just gonna do about 2 tablespoons. I'm going to add the zest and juice of 2 of these oranges. Oh no, is this the dull one? If you can't find sour oranges, feel free to mix a regular orange and a lime. That works well, or orange and vinegar. Also, this is what a sour orange looks like inside. They're not as juicy as regular oranges. All right, so let's juice our oranges. Oh, shit. Well, these are a little ashy, so I'm actually gonna end up using 3 of them. Oh, you see, that one's juicier. There we go. That was great. To this, I'm going to grate at least 3 cloves of garlic. Feel free to do more. The main flavors you're looking for in a mojo are garlic and citrus, okay? To this, I'm also gonna add about 2 tablespoons of sherry vinegar, a few sprigs of thyme. Strip them straight in. I'm using fresh thyme. Feel free to use dried herbs too. I would say maybe about a teaspoon total of thyme and oregano. If you're using dried herbs, do about half a teaspoon of each. Same thing goes with the oregano. Just gonna strip these. If you're using fresh oregano, just make sure you run your knife through it a little bit.
That's hot. Yeah.
Good pinch of salt. I'm just gonna good pinch of salt, some pepper. It was just a little bit of salt. All right, so I'm just gonna whisk this together. Then we're gonna drizzle in our olive oil. So yeah, this is kind of a mix between a mojo and a vinaigrette. Mojo vinaigrette?
Yeah.
Ah, I couldn't figure out what to call this until this very moment. I want more of a bite. These sour oranges were actually pretty sweet. Not that sour. I was deceived. But that's okay. Gonna add a little lime, balance it out. That's what cooking's all about. There's always a solution. The driest limes in the world. Yeah, if you feel like your oranges are not as sour as they could be, add a little lime, add a little vinegar. That's what I want. This mojo vinaigrette is going to show up twice. I'm going to use a little bit of it to marinate our steak, and the rest of it we're going to use to toss our batata. So here I have skirt steak. The thing I love about skirt steak holds onto a marinade really well, so you can totally marinate this overnight. I would not recommend this with any other cut of beef, but a skirt steak, it's like made for that. Gonna salt them. Good amount of salt. Pepper. It's gonna go into our bag. And to this, I'm gonna add about two to 3 tablespoons of the mojo vinaigrette. Give it a good toss. All right, we're gonna let this hang out. So our batatas are tender. So batata goes straight onto a sheet tray. Shake off as much water as you can. All right, so give it a shake. Make sure they're in one even layer. Good drizzle of olive oil. It's essentially what you want to happen. These are gonna kind of fry in the oven. So I have a hot oven at 450 degrees. Give it a little extra salt and pepper. All right, so into a 450 degree oven for about 30 minutes. Check it every 10 minutes, give it a shake. So our batata are almost ready to come out of the oven. Took my steaks out of the bag, put them on a paper towel lined baking sheet, and I'm just gonna pat them dry. Because these were marinating, we're not necessarily gonna get the same amount of color on these as if you just did a steak with just a little salt and pepper, and that's okay. But we do wanna take off as much of the residual marinade as we can. I have my pan over high heat. I'm seeing a little bit of smoke. Oh, some oil. Ooh. I'm gonna do like 2 minutes per side for this. I get nervous. I'm always afraid of overcooking the steak. Prep my little pat of butter.
Wow,
Timer. I know, you can't unhear it now. Ooh. If you ever go to a restaurant that has like a bar steak, most likely it's a hanger steak. So good, really beefy. Of course, I like a New York strip or so, you know. I like beef. I'm ready to start basting with some butter.
Is this on the website?
This one's good. All right, so our steak is gonna rest for a second. Our batatas are done. All right, so our batata are nice and crispy. Gonna go into a big bowl. These big mixing bowls work best for something like this. Give our mojo vinaigrette a little whisk. I'm gonna start with about half of it. Give it a toss. let's plate it up. First, let me cut my steak. All right, so we're ready to plate. I tossed the last bit of vinaigrette in these potatoes. I'm doing this like family style. Let's plate our steak.
A sauce, like you said, you're plating it family style.
I have some picked dill and some picked parsley. Put that over top. Wow, Anna, you did beautiful cutting these for me. Just gonna finish our steak off with a little flaky salt. There we go. All right, I'm here with my boy Alvin, literally the jack of all trades here at Food52.
Yes, my favorite moments. All right.
All right, I got the batata, which is like Latin sweet potato. Got some steak.
What was it glazed in again?
This is like a citrusy mojo.
Yes.
It's a little sweet.
Talk to me, Cesar. Come on,
Yep,
talk
a little
to me.
sour.
Yes.
Let's just get everything together.
We put the flaky salt.
Have I let you down yet?
No, never. Never does. All the time. Steak is always good. Caesar's to amaze me.
Recipe drop. Thank you for watching Recipe Drop. You can get the recipe in the link below. Like, comment, subscribe.
Honestly, I eat it with rice.
Okay.
That's just me.
I mean, I'd eat
But-
the rice too. I'd do the double starch.